But what happened is I called him and I said, you know, I want to find, first of all, how are you doing? How are you doing? And he said, honestly, I'm down a little bit, but I think we're going to go. I said, I think you're going to come back too, Luther. I think you're going to come back and you're going to kick everyone's ass and you're going to do great.
That was President Trump describing a conversation between him and Senator Luther Strange the moment he told Strange that he would come to Alabama and campaign for him.
That's right. President Trump headed back to New Jersey at this hour after campaigning right here in the Rocket City for Luther Strange.
Thanks for joining us tonight for this very special edition of WAFF 48 News at 10. Our dedicated team of journalists has this event covered from several angles.
Yeah, we start our first alert team coverage with WAFF 48 News anchor Kim Essex.
Kim, you were there with President Trump as he returned to Madison County as a sitting president. He was here to stump for Luther Strange. He talked a little bit about that, a lot about a wide variety of other issues: North Korea, Huntsville's strong contribution to missile defense, health care, and that's just the beginning.
Well, guys, it is definitely a stark difference here at the VBC at this hour. Less than 2 hours ago, the president literally had this arena entranced. They stood for the majority of his hour and 25-minute speech. And as you said, he was here to campaign for Senator Luther Strange. Luther Strange only making a brief appearance on stage tonight. He came on stage and thanked everyone in attendance, asked for their vote, and then he introduced the president, who came on stage to thunderous applause to Sweet Home, Alabama. The president did make the trip to Huntsville to campaign for Senator Luther Strange. The president did speak about a myriad of items tonight, including immigration, including border control, including replacing and repealing Obamacare, the health care crisis in this country, the drug problem in this country. But on Luther Strange, the president spoke about his character, how Strange is a fighter, how the two share the same values. And he urged Alabama voters to go to the polls for Luther Strange, a man he says who will fight for America's interests.
Luther wants to end business as usual, stop the insider dealing, and Luther Strange is determined to drain that swamp. We need each and every one of you to get a friend, go out, get a family member, get the whole family, and bring them out to vote for Big Luther.
And perhaps some of the highlights of the night, the president getting lots of applause. As I said, folks were standing for the majority of his speech. But perhaps some of the highlights of the night when he got the most applause is when he introduced four-star Marine General John Kelly. He brought him on stage and the crowd just went wild. Also, the president jokingly said that he thought maybe he would move to Alabama. He reiterated his love for the folks of Alabama, the great state of Alabama, as he called it. So again, quite a night here at the VBC as the President Donald Trump comes to Huntsville to campaign for Senator Luther Strange. Reporting live from the VBC, Kim Essex, WAFF 48 News.
Thank you, Kim. From inside to outside the Von Braun Center. Only so many people are allowed inside the VBC before it becomes a safety issue. WAFF 48's Leah Jordan was in the thick of things in the lines all day long. Leah, some people were disappointed that they couldn't get in.
Liz, we got up to about 5,000 people. I asked the event staff how many people we got to. They said around 5,000 is when somebody came out and said, I'm sorry, nobody else is going to be allowed to come in here. And of course, those people had tickets in their hand. They thought that that was their way in, and to be told that they couldn't get in at that point, that was disappointing for them, they said. But just after 6:30, that's when that happened. They told people who were approaching the VBC that they were at capacity. And at first I spoke with people who were disappointed, but they warmed up to the big screen pretty quickly. A crowd of people gathered around the large screen outside the VBC that was broadcasting the rally inside. And I spoke to a few of those people outside about how they were feeling that they couldn't make it in to see our president speak.
I mean, it's a little disappointing, but we're just thankful to be here, and we're glad he's here and he made it safe. Everybody's got their own opinions. The protesters are out, they're peaceful. So, I mean, we're just glad that he's here.
When does he ever come to a place like Huntsville except for, a major event like this? I mean, we've got a big Senate race coming up this next Tuesday, and it's important for people to get out and vote for whoever that they feel like they want to vote for. But I just wish that my 6-year-old, who knows who Donald Trump is, could say that he saw him. So that's the only thing I'm a little bit sad about tonight.
And some of those people outside by the big screen that I was speaking to claim that people were letting others inside of the VBC without a ticket. Supposedly you had to have the ticket. Some people say that they didn't need one to get in. So we are asking those questions to people at the VBC, trying to get some answers for you. We will keep tracking that and, of course, give you the first alert as soon as we figure out more. For now, reporting at the VBC, Leah Jordan, WAFF 48 News.
All right, Leah, not everyone gathered at the Von Braun Center was there to cheer on the president tonight. You heard Leah mention protest groups gathered in Big Spring Park. WFF 48's Lauren Scharf covering them tonight. Lauren, who were these people and what exactly were they protesting?
Mark, I would say that there was a couple of 100 protesters here. They marched around Big Springs Park dozens of times. Listen to what they chanted.
No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go.
The demonstrators were definitely making their point throughout the park, holding up signs as event goers came and left. They wanted their voices heard that not all the South is red. There were a few Trump supporters who got amongst the crowd but were quickly escorted away by police. Officers only allowed the protesters to stay in the park. Many made their point that they didn't agree with President Trump's policies and stand against his rhetoric.
His relationship with the LGBT community, his acting like he was their friend and then abandoning them, the transgender ban shows where his heart truly is. DACA, pulling out of the Paris Climate Agreement, I mean, there's plenty to name, but those are just a few. It's directly against any kind of progressive or democratic agenda.
Overall, it was a peaceful protest with many folks making their opinions known about President Trump and Luther Strange. Protesters say they were happy with the turnout, and Huntsville police did a wonderful job keeping the peace. Live at Big Spring Park, Lauren Scharf, WAFF 48 News.
People in the Tennessee Valley have been posting to social media during the president's visit all day long from 4 o'clock all the way through his departure just a little while ago. Take a look. It's all compiled for you right here on Tagboard. We have Luther Strange, of course, for whom President Trump was here in town. He was tweeting the entire presentation. We have a lot of pictures of President Trump. Look at this one here. Random chick. Boom, boom, boom. Right there, very up close and personal with the president. We have a variety of wonderful shots from inside the VBC. Then, as Lauren just reported, we have people on the outside, those people who were protesting the president's visit today, disagreeing with him. Then, of course, this great shot from Huntsville International Airport. The president's motorcade is awaiting him right here in the Rocket City. Then we have these first-timers, a political nerd, his post today. First time seeing the president ready to make America great again. This precious picture of two young boys. Let's see if I can get that up again. These two are headed to see their hero, President Trump. Thank you, Mr. President. Make America great again. Great little shots there of children watching and witnessing history today. Many, many more pictures that we see here. We see inside Lauren Scharf, Kim Essex, all there with the vantage point is from the media's perspective and showing so many people there. Then there were some people who were at the Civic Center from 3:30 this morning. Some of them still looking great by the end of tonight's speech. So again, quite a variety of people on social media sharing. We asked for a picture of Air Force One. I haven't been able to find that yet, but I know Captain Wombat, I think, got a great shot of it, so I'm going to try to find that in a little bit. Mark?
Hi, Liz. Well, the rally, of course, was for Luther Strange, technically, but President Trump is one a lot of people came out to see. WFF 48's Jack Madison is live now at the VBC. And Jack, you met people who really haven't decided who they're voting for on Tuesday.
I should have wore comfortable. I had to wear nice shoes.
Again, Jack Madison there at the VBC. Jack, can you hear me now?
The president. Okay, nobody's phone's connected now.
Okay, Jack was able to talk with some who are undecided between Roy Moore, Luther Strange. The rally, of course, for Strange. In entertainment terms, that really made him the headliner, but there's no doubt that President Donald Trump was the star tonight. Those undecided voters, exactly who the Strange campaign hopes can be wooed to their side by President Trump's support. Cody Cummings drove a couple of hours from Shelby County to see the president. He says he has no intention of voting for Luther Strange, though. Harvest resident Andrew Gathany says he's on the fence for Tuesday's runoff election. He wants more information about the candidates. One bit of info he says he does know: President Trump backs Strange, and he says even if he came to the rally to see Trump, for the most part, that's important to him.
Everybody's got their pros and cons, and Trump has more pros than he does cons. I mean, well, right now he's supporting a con because he's more of a sellout. I'm talking about Strange, that is.
So you're going to vote for Roy Moore?
Right, yeah.
Really, right now, for me, it's a toss-up. I'm trying to learn the different candidates, see just kind of where they stand on issues.
But you didn't come here solely to try to decide between the two, even though it's a Luther Strange rally. Why'd you come here?
I ultimately came here to see Trump. I voted for him in the primaries and in the general election.
Again, Jack Madison getting those interviews for us out of the VBC tonight.
The president flew in and he flew out of Huntsville International. Quite a scene seeing Air Force One right here in the Rocket City. WAFF 48 News anchor Elizabeth Gentle was there for his arrival and his departure. Elizabeth?
I was there for both. It was a first-time experience for me with Air Force One, something that I was looking forward to. We were literally 150 feet from President Trump and his White House staff as they stepped off of that plane. Of course, this is Air Force One. Go ahead and show you that video right now. This is Air Force One as it descended over the skies of Huntsville around 6:30 this evening, coming in smoothly to the airport. As Air Force One taxied the runway, it pulled to a designated spot directly in front of the media, right in front of our camera. First, the president's White House aides and press pool made their way off, followed by President Trump and Senator Shelby. President Trump throwing up a hand as he made his way to his awaiting motorcade. That motorcade then took the president, of course, to downtown Huntsville, to the VBC, where he spoke on behalf of Luther Strange, who is in the running for that coveted U.S. Senate seat. Then shortly before 9 tonight, President Trump's motorcade made it back to the airport, where Air Force One took off in the dark. President Trump making his way back home. And President Trump is the 7th president to visit the Rocket City. And of course, we want to pass this along to you. Those expenses for President Trump's travel here tonight was paid for by the Luther Strange campaign. Reporting live in Huntsville, Elizabeth Gentle, WAFF 48 News.
All right, Elizabeth, for a complete recap of the president's visit here to the Rocket City, check out this story on the First Alert News app. Also, Stephanie and Franklin will have continuing coverage on WFF 40 News today beginning at 5 a.m.